Yesterday I laid the coolant lines down in the floor of my bus and there were a lot of questions, so I'm going to answer those all in one video. So first, while it's going to get heat from the engine, it isn't connected directly to the engine's coolant line. There used to be coolant lines running all the way from the engine in the back of the bus all the way up to the front at the dash heater. But I cut those and looped them back on themselves, and instead what I'm going to do is buy a water heater that's generally used for yachts. It's about 6 gallons and it hooks up to the coolant lines that used to run to the front of the bus. That water heater is going to heat the water to nearly boiling, which of course you don't want running through your floors. So what I'm going to do is have a manifold that splits the coolant lines into zones for each of the rooms of the bus, and that will be turned on or off from my smart home system. Those lines in the floor aren't ever going to get more hot than 85 degrees. And anytime it gets below that, it will sip a little bit of water out of that water heater, bringing that temperature from nearly boiling to almost nearly boiling, and slowly heating up the water that's running through the floors. Because that tank has such a big capacity, that's going to give water for it to slowly sip on throughout the day, even while I'm not driving. And then every time I drive the bus, it'll heat that water back up to nearly boiling. That water heater also has an electric heating element, so anytime I'm plugged in at an RV park or anything like that, I can heat the water that way. But that's not the most efficient on battery power, so I could heat it through battery power if I wanted to, but instead, if I'm finding that I'm running out of heat in between drives, what I can do is I can add either a propane or a diesel water heater in line with the other water heater so that heats the water while I'm using batteries to be a little bit more efficient. Have any other questions? Let me know in the comments, because I'm more than happy to go into deep dives on stuff like this with the bus.